I'll start from the start. Those of you that know why I'm dressed like this, for the people that don't. But yeah, so as expected, Kinemon was really lucky. It was nothing to do with the mastermind plan. It was all to do with Denjiro and his amazing skills of deduction that were completely wrong and saved everyone. So, you know, it works out. So I'm assuming when we saw all the builders being like, oh yes, makes perfect sense, none of them, from the start, thought it was going to be that port. It was only really the Straw Hats that were expecting that kind of shit. So, you know, is what it is. They then have a dialogue about how the Scabbards are ready to die at any time for this battle. Like, it goes in to kind of explain the mindsets of the Scabbards right now. And a lot of them are completely with Momo and Kinemon. They view Kinemon as their strong leader now. They're starting to, you know, appreciate that while a lot of the luck may run out, you know, they're ready to die by this cause. Which is we kind of knew this. The Scabbards in Odin's flashback made it very obvious that they were ready to die by Odin's side, so it makes sense that they're ready to die by Kinemon's, by extension. But I suppose it's nice to have that kind of confirmation of the solidarity of the Scabbards, even though they've just been betrayed. So Kawamatsu then tries to save Momo, which, yeah, I mean, I was kind of miffed in a way that Kanjuro seems to be so strong, partly because he was fucking pathetic the whole way through, and a fucking nuisance, like the cat and the dragon, like real, like it was so balky, and now he's just like, perfect, fine art, a good user of this devil fruit. I know he was using his like wrong hand, and like there's the whole theory about that, but like, bro, just bro. But the next parts that kind of happens is, you know, Kanjuro obviously displays his power is significantly better than we'd anticipated, and Kawamatsu is unable to save Momo. Kanjuro then goes to try and fly away, and while he's flying away, he displays yet another unknown power, which is to create a rain cloud that rains ink arrows. We take some damage from this in the Alliance's fleet. It seems that this was actually quite a decent, like, long-range sort of thing to have happened. And during this, the last ship, which is a warship, retreats a bit. It seems like from the dialogue there are plans to try and capture Hiyori. Obviously they do know where Hiyori is. It's plausible. I'm not sure how they'll send troops from Onigashima, because everyone seems to roughly be there, to the northern graveyard, I want to say Ringo or wherever it is. Anyway, I forget because I'm not constantly reading this shit. It's not been enough. This last couple of chapters have been enough, and I'm kind of enjoying it, which is part of why I'm back. It's not just this particular reason, although this particular reason is totally why I've made a video. Like, let's be real, it is. I'm so happy, I'm so hype, it is what it is. And there's a kind of dialogue here where Momo comes to realise that the safest thing for the Alliance's success is for him to be captured, for them to at some point attempt to save him. And Luffy kind of comments on, you know, this Momo is becoming a man, this Momo is developing, and this is probably the most character development we're gonna get, but in 1-0, but like, you know, it is what it is. You know, memes. And yeah, so there's also some fighting banter from Kid and Law, where they're kind of like, oh, we're not gonna let you get there first, we're gonna get there first, and we're gonna win. And I think it's kind of cool. We had some in the last chapter. It's nice to kind of see that continued. The ship they thought that had retreated, however, is using long-range cannons. They pew pew at the Alliance, and some of the ships get like very heavily damaged. Like we take a few casualties at least here, which is a real shame because like we need as many as possible. But you know, it is what it is. But it's okay because Jinbe comes to the rescue and he spears through the ship like just kapoos, kapows, all of the sound effects, and then he blows up the cannons and like you know, so I'm pretty happy. And then we kind of get to see a little bit of Jinbe's kind of quirks because he goes through this kind of dramatic monologue and then he's like, oh, ha, 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 that was a bit silly of me. And it's like, oh yeah, he's quirky too. I think a lot of people are worried about Jinbe joining the crew because of his almost serious nature. A lot of the interesting Jinbe quotes are very meaningful and deep. But he is a silly egg too, so I think he'll fit in the Straw Hats really well. I think he'll be a voice of reason when needed, and he'll be a comic relief with his silliness in his kind of seriousness. Like, it will be a juxtaposition. It will work. It will work, trust me. It will be like Robin. She had a line here where she was talking about maybe it's the souls of dead babies. And it's like... God damn it, Robin. But he'll have stuff like that, and I'm really excited to look forward to it, you know, see what his quirks are, see how he's going to fit, what the dynamics will be now. It's going to be good. And he is, of course, Jinbe, Knight of the Sea, and he smiles, which gives me life. And he has no obvious damage on him. Like, he's not missing a leg. He's not really damaged at all. And I think a lot of people are going to take some issue with that because obviously he has escaped from Big Mum, like just straight up escaped, and he was holding the rear guard. And I would like to know the casualties of the Sun Pirates' original crew, you know, you like because obviously now they're a different crew because Jinbe's not their captain, he's part of the Straw Hats now. Yeah. But I'm kind of happy about that though, because I love my boy. That's it though, that's the reason I'm happy. Like, so many people are gonna be like, Big Mom's not good enough, and there's me like, Jinbe is brilliant. You know? And obviously Luffy is overjoyed at this. He's so happy to see, like, his eyes become sparkles, all of the Straw Hats are like, Jinbe, like, they're so happy, and I'm so happy, and it's just happiness, you know? But I still would only say this chapter is like 6.57. I felt like the Scabbards dialogue was almost slightly unnecessary, or at least the length that it went through. Like, it's a good few pages of like Scabbards. Like, it felt like it. It might not have been. It might have been like 2, and I'm like, it was too much. Which everyone's gonna be funny about. But that's okay. And yeah, I just want to get to the battle now. I'm hyped to see the events unfold. I'm not really the biggest fight fan. I like the fluffier stuff, and there's a lot of fluffier stuff in One Piece, so I'm happy. But I'm hyped for this battle because there's so many events to unfold, and the closer we get, the more we're gonna start seeing things about the Void Century, about Joy Boy, about meaty things. So yeah, so that was the chapter. I will probably be doing some form of stream to talk more about 1.0 at some point, but I'm not sure. I will probably be doing weekly reviews now again. Who knows? I'm problematic, it happens. But for now, it's been Sage. See you.